Freshmen, happy Monday. It is a great day. Um, we are going to be finishing up our review for your final test of your Latin 1 career. So you've got that Chapter 18 test tomorrow. So on Thursday, we reviewed the charts for your test. So make sure you go back, make sure you're well familiar with those and everything. Okay. Today we're going to review mainly translation and then a couple other things. And remember, test is open book, open note, as the other two were as well. Okay, so you guys are going to do awesome. All right. Our translation here, this is the wedding invitation, and it is written from the perspective of our old friend Big Daddy Jupe, and he is inviting the gods and goddesses to a wedding celebration. Okay, so salvete, hello, or greetings, O gods and goddesses. All right, hello, O gods and goddesses. So salvete is in the imperative. That's a second person plural imperative, and then od deiqua would be vocative for direct address. Our friend Peleus has big plans, or has great plans, all right? Our friend Peleus would be nominative, it's your subject, and then great plans would be accusative, it's your direct object, okay? And that's neuter plural as well, you'll notice. So eo, o, a, orum, is, a, is. All right? He will lead the nymph Thetis into marriage. Okay, you can also translate that he will marry the nymph Thetis. All right, can be translated both ways. All right. Therefore, you are called by me, Jupiter, to Thessaly. All right. So you are called second person plural present passive indicative. So remember, we now have a new voice when we're identifying verbs to keep in mind. So verbs can be either active or passive. All right, this is passive here. And then by me, Jupiter would be your ablative of agent, which is a new ablative use. All right. Expect good games and a sweet feast. Okay. So expectate, once again, a nice imperative. All right. Debatus, you ought, however, to be warned about these dangers. Stranger danger. So monere there would be our present passive infinitive. That's one of those complementary infinitives going with the verb debatus. Okay? And then we got the two dangers. He's warning them. Since Peleus is mortal, his spirit will be terrified or will be frightened if we appear or if we seem too powerful. Okay? So terabiter would be our main verb there. That's third person singular future passive indicative. Okay, you can tell that by the be and then the ter. Okay, wide bimmer is also future passive indicative. All right. And then second danger, he who dares to come without a gift will be punished by me. Okay, so by me, once again, ablative of agent. All right, legate, choose, or pick out. Choose the types of gifts. Or excuse me, choose gifts of, choose the types of gifts which will be praised by all who will see them. Okay, so legate, choose, that's your imperative. Second person plural, present active imperative, and choose the types, the genera, that'll be your direct object. Okay, and yes, that is where in science you get the word genus and species and that sort of thing. So genus, generis, or genus, generis, that's where that comes from. Which will be praised. Okay, so quae, that fairly new relative pronoun. Laudabunter, will be praised. Future passive indicative. By all would be ablative of agent, that new one. All right. And then Jupiter has a little bit of a someone who's not invited here. So you alone, O goddess Discord, are not called, for you are loved by no one. Okay? No one wants Discord at their wedding. No one wants Discord hanging around anywhere. All right? So Discord is not invited. Sorry. Yeah. If you come, every god on Olympus will be moved with anger or by anger. Okay? So will be moved, future passive, indicative. All right? Every god, or each, yeah, go with every god. It's your subject. Notice Ira, this is ablative. All right? This one, though, is not an ablative of, this is not an ablative of agent. All right? Because anger is not a person. All right? You can take this either as an ablative of means, okay, or as an ablative of manner. Either one would make sense here. Right. Among gods, or excuse me, among friends, discord ought not to be tolerated. Okay, so among friends, discord ought not to be tolerated. All right, and then the final one here. The penalty will be paid by that god who will neglect his duty. Okay? So basically, anyone that doesn't carry out their responsibility ain't gonna go well for them. Alright? And then Walete, goodbye, toodles. That is a vocative, or excuse me, an imperative. Goodbye, be strong, but yeah, usually just translated goodbye. Okay, so you'll have on your test, like usual, you'll have the translation section. You'll have some nouns that you'll identify, so you'll give case, number, gender, function. You'll have verbs that you'll identify, person, number, tense, voice, mood. Remember now with voice, it could be either active or passive, all right? Passive, though, remember, it's going to have that ris, term, or mini inter endings. Okay? If it doesn't have that, don't put it down as passive. Okay? If it has OST, MUST, IS, and T, put it down as active. Okay? And then imperatives, remember, imperatives are always going to be active for our purposes. All right? All right. Then you'll have your charts, like usual. Got to have those charts. Also, remember about the ablative of agent. That was the new ablative use this chapter. Okay, a couple things to remember. It is the person doing an action in a passive sentence. Okay, person, passive. And you're also going to have a preposition with it as well. In Latin, you're going to have the preposition a or ab. All right, so that is important. And you'll translate it with the word by. Okay, so for example, I was killed by the enemy. Okay, so by the enemy would be an ablative of agent. All right, so that is about what we've got for this this chapter. Okay. As always, let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. Make sure you review your charts and how to form the infinitives and how to translate those as well, because remember the passive charts will have the infinitive. All right. And I love you guys, and I'll talk to you all later.